You're standing at gate C12, fluorescent lights buzzing. The departure board stutters between flight numbers, and a line of passengers murmurs while a gate agent taps a tablet and says, "We need volunteers or we'll have to deny boarding." Your stomach drops at the word deny. Your shoulder bag smells of coffee and anxiety, and the agent hands a small printed slip that reads, "Vouchers, $300, valid for 6 months."
If your flight happens to be canceled or delayed, Compensair will help you get compensation for the inconvenience and get your money back without wasting time on red tape. Get a refund for your canceled flight right
Non-transferable. You can see the bright rectangle of the voucher. It's fine print, and you already know there's more to this offer than the big number. Listen closely. The choice you make in the next few minutes can cost you hundreds or save you an equal amount. I'll walk you through how to check the real dollar value of that voucher, exactly what the airline owes you under US DOT rules, how to ask for cash instead, and the one quick line to say that usually gets agents to write a dollar amount. This is aimed at the traveler who rarely flies and wants to avoid being shortchanged when an overbooked flight turns personal. Step 1. Get the facts immediately and calmly. Ask the agent, out loud and clearly, "Is this a voluntary or involuntary bump offer?" If they say voluntary, it's a negotiation. You can push for more. If they say involuntary, that triggers DOT rules and a specific cash entitlement in many countries. Next, ask, "Is that voucher a travel bank or a voucher with blackout dates?" And what is the expiry date, and are there blackout or routing rules? Ask for the offer in writing, a printed slip, an email, or a text, and do not rely on a verbal promise. Do this before you accept. Pull up your original ticket price on your email or booking app, note the fare for the one-way portion, and check your arrival delay if the airline is proposing alternate transport. The DOT formula uses your one-way fare as the base for compensation, so knowing that number now matters. If you're traveling internationally, find your airline's contract of carriage or the local regulator's rules on denied boarding. The numbers change outside the US. Why do airlines push vouchers? Simple. Vouchers are liability on their ledger and a marketing tool. They encourage you to buy more flights with that airline, and they often expire or have blackout dates, meaning the airline keeps most of the economic value. Think of a voucher like a store credit for a returned appliance. The store gives you a coupon that's harder to spend than cash, so you come back and spend more. That's the everyday analogy. Gift card versus cash. Cash is fungible and can be used to buy anything. A voucher is restricted and usually worth less than its face value if you need to spend it on travel that's already expensive. Now the real math, in plain numbers. In the United States, if you are involuntarily bumped and the airline arranges substitute transportation that gets you to your destination within 1 hour of your original scheduled arrival, the airline owes you nothing extra. If the substitute transportation gets you there between 1 and 2 hours late on a domestic flight, 1 to 4 hours on international, they owe you 200% of your one-way fare, up to a maximum forward. Recently, that cap has been around $775. If they get you there more than 2 hours late, or they don't get you to your destination at all, the airline owes you 400% of your one-way fare, up to the higher cap, often cited around $1,550. So if your one-way fare was $200, 200% would be $400. 400% would be $800, or the caps, whichever applies. Compare that to a common agent offer, a $300 voucher. If the DOT rule would have put you at $400 in cash, the voucher is plainly worse, unless you can use the voucher for a purchase you already planned and its terms really match your needs. Also, factor expiration. A $300 voucher that expires in 6 months and cannot be used on peak dates is often worth far less to you than $300 in cash. What's the missed flight risk, the baggage risk, and worst case? Missed flight risk. If you accept a voucher and rebook yourself later, you may face sold-out flights or higher fares. The voucher may not cover the true ticket cost, and you'll have to pay cash on top. Baggage risk. Usually unaffected by the voucher choice, but if you accept travel bank credit and then need to purchase a new ticket that changes baggage allowances, you could face extra fees. Worst case? You accept a voucher, it's non-refundable and tightly restricted, the airline goes bankrupt or merges and honors it poorly, and you end up paying more out of pocket to complete your trip. Or you miss a connecting event and lose time-sensitive value. That can easily be several $100s, or the cost of a missed meeting or night in a hotel. Here's the cheapest, safest, most practical route to the best outcome. 1. Ask for everything in writing. 2. Say you're willing to volunteer only for cash or a clearly specified dollar credit to your original form of payment. 3. If the agent offers a voucher first, counter with a specific cash number based on DOT math. For example, my one-way fare was $200. I will accept $400 now. If they push back, ask to speak to a supervisor. Always ask about rebooking options. If you'll be rerouted, ask for guaranteed seat, meal/hotel vouchers if overnight, and written confirmation of arrival time. Many useful links can be found in the description, a practical script that works most of the time. I'm volunteering only for a cash payout or a credit back to my card. Please put any offer to me in writing. If you've already accepted a voucher and later decide it's insufficient, you can still raise it with customer service or file a DOT complaint. But the leverage is highest at the gate. One common hidden trick. Agents or airline phone scripts call a travel bank a voucher and imply it's equivalent to cash. Then the fine print limits routes, increases required fares, or excludes basic economy. Another trick, some booking channels, third-party OTAs, make you ineligible for cash refunds because your ticket was issued under a consolidated block fare. The airline will then only offer a voucher. The way to refuse politely but firmly is, I decline the voucher, I want the statutory cash compensation or a written rebooking that meets my needs. If they say the computer won't allow cash, ask for a supervisor and ask the agent to note the refusal and the reason on your passenger record. If you're considering volunteering rather than being bumped involuntarily, treat it as a contract negotiation. Offer your own terms. Specify the minimum cash amount. Request confirmed onward seats, and ask for hotel/meals if the replacement is next day. Volunteers typically get more, sometimes substantially more, because the airline is trying to move passengers voluntarily first. 2 quick cautionary details. Vouchers are often non-transferable, so you can't give them to a family member for use on the airline's partner. And many vouchers exclude basic economy fares or have blackout periods around holidays. Always translate a voucher's face value into practical buying power. How much of a real ticket will it actually cover on the routes and dates you care about? Final checklist to use at the gate in the next 5 minutes. 1. Ask voluntary versus involuntary. 2. Get the offer in writing. 3. Check your one-way fare and compute 200%/400% ranges. 4. Ask for cash or a card refund if that cash number is higher than the voucher. 5. If you accept a voucher, read the expiry and blackout terms out loud and confirm them on the printed slip. If an airline is being intentionally misleading, document it. Take a photo of any printed voucher, note agent name, time, and the flight number, and then follow up with customer service and regulatory complaint if necessary. For most rare travelers, the safest general rule is don't accept a voucher unless its real, usable value equals or exceeds the cash payout you're legally entitled to, or unless you plan to use the voucher immediately on a purchase you already intended to make. If this breakdown helped you feel ready for the gate, please subscribe and like. I post clear airport and airline fixes for people who fly infrequently and want to avoid unnecessary stress.